Mr Chairman, the Green Party can only oppose this bill when the powers such as this go right into the core organisations and community organisations that try and keep this country free, democratic, and that also look after the environment. So the Green Party will continue to oppose this bill as it stands.
I call the Honourable David Parker.
In the Green Party to oppose it, but I hope you don't do it on the basis that this would affect Lucy Lawless, because she was actually there publicly waving to be seen, and there was no covert surveillance or search involved in that case. Mr. Chairman, I want to further reply to Judith Collins, the Honourable Judith Collins' statement about this being a late change. And some assertion that there would somehow be a vacuum of powers in the meantime. Well, there wouldn't have been a vacuum of powers, because until the bill was passed amending the powers of the Serious Fraud Office, their existing powers would have carried on, and there would have been not one iota of a vacuum. So that is, with respect, a vacuous argument rather than an argument about vacuums. Mr Chairman, the point as to abuse of powers, the only time that I'm aware that the Serious Fraud Office has abused their powers in respect of the issue of a production order against the media is in respect of the National Business Review. But their abuse of their powers using this shortcut route where they whack out a production order or an examination order rather than seeking a warrant or using normal investigative techniques is a more widespread abuse of their powers, according to the advice that we received when we were in government from the Law Commission, and the advice that I received when concerns were raised about these issues, and I visited Queen's Counsel, who were acting both for the Serious Fraud Office at times and for accused persons, and they said, whether they were serious fraud lawyers on occasions or Defence Counsel, that the Serious Fraud Office were abusing their powers by using them when they ought not to, or by using them too broadly, because it's very easy for them to whack out a broad production order or an examination order and effectively go on a bit of a fishing expedition to see what's around rather than have a more specific production order or pursue normal investigative techniques. As to the suggestion that this would be a late on the hoof amendment, this issue was raised at Select Committee, and the Honourable Leanne Dalzell has already outlined that by reading from the Select Committee speech. It was raised in communications by me with the Honourable Simon Power, constant reminders, and a somewhat cynical late reply designed not to be received until the day following, or the days following the election. But also I note that the issue was raised with the now Minister of Justice in her role as the Serious Fraud Office Minister by the NBR. And I read from the National Business Review, 9 March 2012, page 1, article, "Bill retains draconian SFO powers," and I quote, "Mr Gibson," who's the editor of the National Business Review, recalled that in 2010 he asked then Serious Fraud Office Minister Judith Collins to amend legislation empowering the SFO's rights of seizure of media dossiers. So the suggestion that this is somehow late in the piece is wrong. The suggestion that it couldn't be fixed, even though it is late in the piece, is wrong, because we put forward amendments that would fix it. The suggestion that this would be poor process is made to look pretty thin when we consider that there's a 100-page supplementary order paper that the Minister brought forward that was produced, I think was tabled the day before the committee stage began. Is that right, Mr Chevelle? The day before this committee stage began. The idea that even a week ago, even a week before this, they couldn't tidy up this particular part of the legislation and apply the same rules to the Serious Fraud Office as applied to other agencies of the Crown is nonsense, and it ought not to be given any credibility.
I call the Honourable Member Cam Calder.
I move the question be now put.
The question is that the question be now put. As many of that opinion will please say aye. Contrary, no. The ayes have it. Party vote called for. The clerk will please conduct a party vote. Thank you.
New Zealand National.
59 votes in favour.
New Zealand Labour.
34 votes opposed.
Green Party.
14 votes opposed.
New Zealand First.
8 votes opposed.
Māori Party.
2 votes in favour.
Mana.
1 opposed.
Act New Zealand.
1 vote in favour.
United Future.
1 in favour.
Any other votes?
Honourable members, the ayes are 63, the noes are 57. The question will be put, but before we do that, we have a number of amendments to vote on. The first one is to clauses 124 and 169. It's the Minister's typescript amendments to the amendments set out on supplementary order paper number 12. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. To the contrary, no. The ayes have it. The question now is that the Minister's amendments as amended set out on SOP number 12 and the Minister's typescript amendments to clauses 120 and 127 be agreed to. All those in favour, please say aye. Contrary, no. The ayes have it. Noes have it. Party vote called for? Yes. The clerk will please conduct a party vote. Thank you.
New Zealand National.
59 votes in favour.
New Zealand Labour.
34 votes opposed.
Green Party.
14 votes opposed.
New Zealand First.
8 votes opposed.
Māori Party.
2 votes opposed.
Mana.
1 vote opposed.
Act New Zealand.
1 in favour.
United Future.
1 in favour.
Any other votes?
Honourable members, the ayes are 61, the noes are 59. The Minister's amendments are agreed to. The question now is that we've got clause 139. There's a typescript amendment in the name of the Honourable Member Charles Chauvel. All those in favour, please say aye. Contrary, no. Noes have it. Party vote called for. Clerk will please conduct a party vote. Thank you.
New Zealand National.
59 votes opposed.
New Zealand Labour.
34 in favour.
Green Party.
14 in favour.
New Zealand First.
8 in favour.
Māori Party.
2 votes opposed.
Mana.
1 vote in favour.
Act New Zealand.
1 opposed.
United Future.
1 opposed.
Any other votes?
Honourable members, the ayes are 57, the noes are 63. The amendment is not agreed to. The question now is that Part 4 as amended stand part. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. To the contrary, no. The ayes have it. Party vote is called for. Clerk, please conduct the party vote. Thank you.
New Zealand National.
59 votes in favour.
New Zealand Labour.
34 votes opposed.
Green Party.
14 votes opposed.
New Zealand First.
8 votes opposed.
Māori Party.
2 votes opposed.
Mana.
1 vote opposed.
Act New Zealand.
1 in favour.
United Future.
1 in favour.
Any other votes?
Honourable members, the ayes are 61, the noes are 59. Part 4 as amended will stand part. The question now is that Part 5, which is debate on clauses 175 through to 316, stand part. I call the Honourable